Now, after 7 years in exile, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, spent hardly any time at all in his native country today before being put on a plane to Saudi Arabia. Mr. Sharif told Newsnight last week that he was determined to bring democracy back to Pakistan. But President Musharraf, who overthrew and jailed him in 1999, ensured he left more or less immediately. As we'll hear in a minute, the official Pakistani government view is that he chose to leave. Richard Watson reports.
This has never happened before.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif could hardly have expected a hero's welcome from the man who deposed him in a military coup in 1999.
They are dramatizing the whole issue. The police officers came up on the plane. They have no reason to come up into the plane and then interact with the passengers directly. It is not their function.
After delaying him on the aircraft for an hour and a half, Nawaz Sharif was allowed briefly onto Pakistan's soil before a representative of Pakistan's Accountability Bureau, investigating allegations of civil corruption, issued an arrest warrant charging him with money laundering.
You may read it yourself, sir.
His lawyer, who was on the plane with him, says he was treated shoddily.
We had a very vivid picture of rule of law and justice in Pakistan, and General Musharraf didn't show any respect to that order.
Supporters waiting near the airport were confronted by police.
They are there to serve us, not to beat us.
But rather than detain the former Prime Minister in Pakistan, he was bundled onto another plane bound for Jeddah in Saudi Arabia.
It is a subversion of constitution. And to top it all, the way he has been sent out of Pakistan is nothing but a clear case of abduction. So I think if I say it's a black day for Pakistan, it will be an understatement.
A well-placed source told Newsnight that this was all part of the plan. President Musharraf and the Director General of the Intelligence Service apparently travelled to Saudi Arabia to arrange just such an extradition several weeks ago in anticipation of today's events. But the significance of all of this is far greater than the deportation of a former Prime Minister. Today marks the latest escalation in a series of disputes between President Musharraf and an emboldened judiciary which senses it may have the President on the run. The dispute began when Pakistan's Supreme Court started asking awkward questions about hundreds of suspected extremists who were allegedly disappeared by the intelligence services. President Musharraf then accused the Chief Justice of financial irregularities and dismissed him in